Hello, Mr. Crow. Well, how many of us Canadian hunters are not familiar with the mighty 303 British, the legendary service cartridge that I believe the UK adopted in 1889 and continued with till the 1950s, till they changed to the 7.62 NATO 308. Well, folks, welcome to Ontario on an absolutely beautiful late February afternoon. No mittens, no gloves on today. The temperature has finally risen above freezing. And for the syrup producers among us, I'm sure that the sap is running today like Niagara Falls. I just love hearing those crows. I actually heard a robin the other day. Back to our new rifle here. I'm excited, folks. I've been waiting months to produce this video and months to shoot this rifle. Quite a while ago, I had an opportunity to purchase this rifle. It's a number 4 Mark I Lee-Enfield 303 British. It was sporterized by the Parker-Hale company of Great Britain, of Birmingham, England. It has an original Parker-Hale scope mount. It has a bolt serial number that matches the action. It's the proper magazine, and one of the things that makes it most special for me, it was made in Canada. It was built during the war at the Long Branch factory, which is, I don't know, 20 kilometers from downtown Toronto along the lakeshore to the west. This is a pretty special rifle. When I was a boy, I can remember at least 3 gentlemen that lived close to us. They had a Parker-Hale 303, and I thought, wow, if only I could ever afford one of them. And in fact, the second rifle I ever bought in my life, large bore rifle, was the 303 British. It had been sporterized, but let's just say not quite as well as this one. This gun has a 4-power Bushnell Scope Chief scope on it with a command post reticle. The command post means if I turn this knob this way, there's a little click and a large post comes up and stops right in the middle of the crosshairs. I love it. So when I got this rifle, I was so excited. I took it all apart. I cleaned it, of course, and I found something really interesting when I lifted the barrel from the action. Someone years ago has free floated the barrel from just in front of the chamber all the way forward. That's not unusual. And then they shimmed the barrel, or they shimmed the chamber area to put pressure on it. And what they used to shim was the yellow package from Vogue cigarette papers. How classic was that? It was probably done in the 60s. That's when these rifles were produced. Well, today I get to sight the rifle in. I have taken it all apart, cleaned it, took the scope off, I've bore sighted it, and I'm really excited to see where it shoots and how it shoots. At the Long Branch factory during the war, as a cost-cutting measure and an efficiency measure, they made some of these Lee-Enfields with only 2 lands of rifling. this happens to be one of them. So I'm curious to see what it'll group like at 100 yards. I've got a hodgepodge of ammunition to shoot, some Federals, some Remington, and some Winchester. And I'm gonna husband them pretty close because they're getting a little hard to get. When I was a kid, my favorite ammunition, and the one everybody talked about, was the Imperial or Dominion 303 British. And I can remember some guys swore by 150 grain, others 180, and I actually shot out of my old gun 215 grain bullets. Whatever I could get at Canadian Tire really at the time. One of the boxes I have here is Winchester box, is a Canadian Tire box, and it was $17.99. I saw some of these the other day in a store for $99. Little difference in price. I've put 3 in the magazine. Let's take a shot and let's see where it shoots. Oh, that sounds good. I haven't done that in a long time. This is a 4-power scope. It's got a fairly fine reticle, but let's just say it's not top of the line. And it's over 60 years old. That felt so good. I'm gonna shoot 2 shots and then we'll see where we'll take a walk and see where they're heading. It would be difficult for me to be any happier. Elevation was almost right on, and it was firing about 3.5 inches of my 2 shots to the right. So we'll make an adjustment to the scope and let's shoot it again. There, 8 lines. Let's shoot that again and see where it hits. You know, when I think back to my father, he just thought the 303 British was the best cartridge ever developed, and of course the Lee-Enfield rifle was the best firearm ever developed. Growing up when I did, the 303 Lee-Enfield was, you know, just a part of the fabric of being a member of a hunting camp in Ontario. There was always somebody in the hunting camp with a Lee-Enfield 303. I am so pleased to have this rifle. Well, let's take another couple of shots and see where it hits. Wow, that was a weird noise. I didn't have my earphones on. That's a lot louder when you don't wear your headphones. I can see one to the right and low. I'm going to take another one. Let's go have a look. And I'm still a happy camper. We moved it a little bit to the left. I'm going to adjust the scope to bring the windage over to the left again. And this time I'm going to raise the bullet impact 4 clicks. The first 2 shots I fired were Remington 180 grain pointed soft points. And the next 2 were these Winchesters. And the group is about the same, just a little bit lower. You know what, it's hard for me to put into words how much I'm enjoying shooting this old rifle. And I know there are so many calibers today that vastly will outperform the old 303 rimmed British cartridge. But you know what, I don't know about you, when I'm deer hunting, quite honestly, it's been a long time since I've shot a deer over maybe 150 yards. And you know what, this has got more than enough power. When I think about Canada, I think about all the moose and deer and bear that were shot with a 44-40 Winchester and then the 32-40, and of course the 30-30 and the 32 special. They're in a league all of their own. There are an incredible number of hunters that still use the 30-30, and the 303 British has significantly more stopping power than the 30-30. Back in the 60s, when I was a young lad, the two calibers that probably accounted for more game in Ontario were the 30-30 and the 303 British. Oh, I'm having a wonderful day, folks. This is just so nice to be out here and to shoot this, and what great memories it brings back. Well, my groups aren't getting any tighter. 1, 2, 3. But you know what? They're all in the right place to kill a deer or kill a moose. I couldn't be happier, actually. Love this old rifle. Hard to imagine 80 years old. I hope I'm working as well at 80 years old as this rifle is. Oh, folks, it's been a glorious day. It's so nice to feel spring hearkening and saying hello for this beautiful temperature, the brilliant blue sky and the sunshine, the robins we heard earlier, the ravens and crows, and it's been a great day. Folks, thanks so much for joining me today. I sure have enjoyed shooting this old rifle. I had a lot of fun cleaning it and taking it apart and putting it back together. I'm going to have a lot of fun doing some other work to it, and next fall we're going to have a lot of fun carrying it while we hunt. Folks, it's been another great day, and as always, thanks so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you again on Out of the House with Paul.